say because I don't really know what day it is. It's Monday, isn't it?
Fuck no.
Thursday.
Really? Feels like Tuesday.
I thought it was Mondayitus.
It could be.
Could be.
Tuesday has no feel.
And we spiral out of control and it's just absolute madness and chaos.
Monday has a feel.
I don't know, but we're going off topic.
I think we just come out with our intro.
We did. I'm putting that in the intro.
Oh, you'll have to delete that.
I'll put an intro at the start of it, so hopefully it'll be there. What up? This is Midas. This is the Mondayitus podcast. No Doel, he's busy doing shit, so I'm going to do it myself, but I do have a special guest, Hyjak. So what up?
What up? Saturday though.
It is, but it will be released on Monday. We had a little theme at one point where we were recording them on Monday and releasing the one before on Monday, but
Yeah.
it, life got in the way and shit.
Well,
But,
Monday's like Saturday for me anyway. It's all the same
Yeah,
shit.
sort of weekend all blends in.
Pretty much.
We're gonna rush this through so we can get you on the train and shit going back. But cliche fucking question, man. Like, how'd you come up with your name? Was that on a graph tip initially, or?
At first it was New Jack.
Yeah,
That was when New Jack Swing was big.
yeah.
New Jack City.
Well, the younger heads won't remember.
I was
New
about
Jack.
11, 10, 9, some shit like that.
Yeah,
And then I realised that was a whack name. But it was true because I was new.
yeah. Well, still a little bit corny that way.
Yeah. So
Then when did it go on to Hyjak?
I started getting high.
Yeah. Everyone walk up, Hyjak. And just, that's
Nah,
my name.
that wasn't even the idea. The people just did that. And
Yeah.
then every time they did it, they thought they were the first one that made that joke.
Yeah.
They
I
still
just
do.
made that on the spot, freestyled it.
Yeah,
So
everyone freestyles it.
Corny joke. What got you into hip hop initially? Was it graph scene? Was it b-boying, rapping? You heard like, what was it?
My brother's CDs had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. What CD was that back in the day?
There was a lot of them. There was the first tape I had was first Naughty by Nature album found in the back of a abandoned car.
Yeah, well.
And my friend was fucking around and he's just chilling listening to his tape. And then I'd go into my brother's room because he had all the albums, all the Ice Cube, all that yada yada everyone had back then. Listen to his shit. There was nothing else to do in the house when he was out. So I just play it over again. And then even read the fucking credits. That's how bored I was.
That's what we all did back in the day, though. You bought an album, you read it from top to bottom as you were listening to it. And like you sat with that album for months, eh?
Yep.
Nowadays, there's just too much out. Well, we did the same thing. Like, my mate's older brother, he was showing us Tupac and Snoop and all that shit. That's what fucking sort of got me into it.
Yeah.
But what age were, like, you're saying the drastic measures, you were sneaking into a club at, what, 16?
I was 15 when that
15
happened.
on open mics? Was that battles straight then, or was that
Yeah.
just open mics?
That was straight into battle.
Yeah.
That was the first battle. Won that. But there was a lot of bedroom recording and freestyle. It was
Shit
done.
going on before then.
Yeah, since I was 9, I think.
Because the battle scene's cool right now, but it was actually bigger probably in your day. Like, they had proper companies sponsoring it and shit. Like, you had the Out for Fame battles.
Well, from what I heard, the battle I won was the first real Sydney one.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I wasn't around before that, so I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But it was the first like official put together by a promoter Sydney one with everyone going in it.
Yeah.
I had Mass MC, I had Torture, I had Maya Jupiter, I had Trey put it together.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They've all gone, you know, yourself included, going on to do big things.
Not everyone.
Yeah.
Let's be real, not everyone. Like
Some of them did nothing.
Most of them aren't even rapping anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Masses on his fucking internet shit, he's next level with that.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
doing Goombag Radio too.
I don't even know. Is he still doing that?
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
Goombak's still around. I don't think it's as big as when it first set up, but he's still doing it. They give me
Yeah.
a lot of love, so I'm happy. You went on... How many sort of battles did you get under your belt before that Out for Fame shit started kicking off?
From what I remember, it's just that first one.
Just that first one, and then you jumped up.
Nah, wait, there was one in Newcastle. Stealth put one on.
Yeah, word.
Then
What year was that, you reckon?
2001, maybe?
Yeah?
And then I was 18 for that.
Yeah.
And then was the Out for Fame one. And then...
Was the Out for Fame an invitational, or was that just like you had to...
Yeah.
Yeah?
I wasn't even going to go on it.
Yeah?
Because I didn't really see the point going all the way to Melbourne. But
Yeah.
I didn't realise how big it was going to be.
I've still got the DVD. I watched it the other week. Like, it was fucking crazy looking back. Like, who was in there? Like, you had... Trials was there. Weapon X doing his wax sense shit. Bliss and SO were hosting. Delta... You and Delta, obviously, in the
I
final.
wonder where Weapon X is now.
He's doing beats still, bro. He just chilling doing beats. He did... I know a few dudes have been buying beats off him. He's still a crazy producer.
Yeah, he had some good beats.
Yeah. Just couldn't get down with that fake accent shit. I mean, it's making a return now, so maybe they might come back.
Is it? Where?
Man, there's a bunch of kids on Triple J at the moment with fake accents. It's ridiculous.
I don't listen to radio too much.
I don't listen to it either. But did you know at the time that Out for Fame shit was going to be so epic? Did you know they were going to put it on DVDs and all this, and cunts would still
Nah.
be talking about it right now?
No, they put us in the fucking backpackers.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was like 6 people in one room.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
think I even went back till the next day to get my bag. I went, look at this shithole.
Backpackers are legit, though. You always come across them ridiculously hot backpackers like UK tourists and that.
This one was filled with men.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's not cool.
Male rappers all in one room.
Yeah, fuck
And then
that.
the New Zealand rappers were in the next room. But I
Yeah,
think
'cause that
I
was
went back to Bliss and Esso's wherever they were staying and just
Yeah.
partied there for the night.
What, they put the hosts up in a better hotel than they did the battle rappers?
Yeah, because they were already in their pocket. They were already bum chums by that stage.
Yeah, word. Were they, Flowers in the Pavement hadn't come out yet, though, had it?
Nah.
They were signed
They
obese
were
at that
already
stage.
yeah, they were already giving them big shows
Yeah,
before that came out.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Delta still, like, that shit's on YouTube now. Cunts are still playing it. Like, it's regarded as one of the biggest battles in Australian battle rap history.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why.
Nah? Do you keep tabs on the battle scene now?
Nah, not really.
Nah?
It's not the same. It's like
It's all pre-written now.
you may as well write a track, diss each other on a track.
When I was younger,
Mm.
like, say, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I used to call it a poor man's diss track. It's like you couldn't afford a beat, all this shit. Now I kind of see where they're coming from, where you get probably a better product for the viewers. I think there's definitely more skills.
There's more detail going into it.
I think there's definitely more skill freestyling, because you notice the best battle rappers can, like, they'll have their written shit, but they'll also flip whatever you said just before they kick back into their written shit.
Yeah, they mix it up.
Yeah. So you don't keep tabs on another battle scene?
To be honest, nah.
No?
I watched a couple of the American ones.
Yeah, the American ones, the product's heaps better.
I watched one of the last ones I watched was Joe Budden versus whoever he was versus.
Yeah, that
where
was
he-
kinda
he
awkward,
walked
wasn't
off
it?
the stage because it was so hyped up.
Yeah. But it was fucking
And then the
awkward.
360 cursor one, I was meant to be in that.
Yeah?
So I watched that, of course, to see what they did.
How it went. What, they hit you up before they hit up Cursor?
It was going to be me and Cursor versus 360 and Pez.
Oh, word? There you go.
And-
That's something no one will really know.
Yeah, and then they didn't even tell me that it changed. So I was still sitting there writing
Yeah.
writing
What
bars.
was it? Pez didn't want to do it, or
I think it was all came down to money. They didn't want to.
they didn't
We all
want
meant
to
to
fork
get
out?
G each. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
I
word.
was like, I don't want to fucking. I wasn't even making many tracks at that stage, and
Yeah.
Cursor was hitting me up like, "Come on, you got to do it. You got to be mad for your career." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fuck's it gonna do?"
Because
for
it
my
almost
career?"
became at that point where, people aren't really buying music. So, like, with Cursor, he got on from the battle scene. Like, he was doing mixtapes and shit for the longest, but no one really was paying attention until the battle shit. Then he had music on top of that, and it was like...
Yeah, he was calling me up out of nowhere. I spoke to him for a while. And he's like, I got your number from Torture. They want to do this battle, and I was like, a battle? Fuck that. And he's like, nah, it'd be mad promo, and then I was like, yeah, fuck.
Well, that battle now on
Fuck
YouTube
promo.
is well over 1 million
And then he
views.
said $1,000, and I was like, okay, I can work with that.
Was that $1,000 and flights, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
'Cause otherwise, that eats into your pay.
I was going to his house, he was coming to my house, we were writing it together. He convinced me to do it, and then somewhere along the line, it changed. No one let me
They
know.
couldn't come up with the money.
No one let me know why or how. I think it's because of the money. I found out later on.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make any sense unless Pez maybe pulled out. I don't know.
Might have to next
But
time I'm talking to Curse.
It was more a thing. It was more political than just a battle, that one though.
Yeah, word.
It was. I also didn't like the fact that they were like putting. It was kind of like the street rappers versus the sensitive
New age rappers.
trendy rappers. I don't know what you call them.
Triple J rapper versus
And
street
I
cunts.
couldn't work out why I was being brought into it
Yeah.
because I didn't feel like I fitted in.
I guess you came from that era though, where 360 came from the freestyle era a little bit later than you. Even though like he was always, they always reckoned he wrote his shit anyway, didn't they? Like back in the day, if you
Who?
wrote your shit, 360, everyone used to give
He
him
did.
shit saying he wrote
did
his shit in the
write it.
freestyle era.
You can tell he wrote.
Yeah, 100%. Him and
We were writing too. I was.
you had some shit.
Yeah, but I could just never remember it. That's the reason I didn't. When the battles changed like that, I went, this one's not for me because I know it's gonna happen. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
end
forget
up
shit.
forgetting it about the fourth bar in and freestyle the rest. I'll probably still burn them, but they've got the advantage of their written shit.
Yeah.
And I'll be there freestyling like they used to.
Well,
And that's why he kept telling Cursor, and he's like, nah, man, trust me, we'll practice and practice and practice and practice until it's drilled. And I was like, how the fuck do you remember all that shit?
bro, I've done 2. The first one in the 3rd round, I stumbled a little bit and then remembered my shit. The third
Well,
one,
you see when people fuck up one line and then
they notice it.
It's very noticeable.
Yeah.
They'll sometimes dwell on it for minutes, and by
Yeah.
that stage, you may as well just walk off.
I did.
Can't come back
Then
from
when
that.
my second one, I was battling Fizz. We were meant to have someone else for him, but then no one wanted to battle him, and you know, to still have him on a headliner, it didn't make sense. And then he said, "Oh, what if we battle? Like we're mates, whatever." I was like, "Yeah, sweet."
Are you talking about Fizz from Melbourne or?
No, Carlos the Jackal, I think he goes by now, from Ivy Mikes.
Okay.
But,
Newcastle? Newcastle?
Nah, Sydney.
Okay.
He's in a crew with Mumbles.
Oh, okay.
But we did that, and he kind of made me laugh. That threw me off a little bit. But other than that, like, it's so much work for not really much payoff, the battles. Like, I enjoy watching them. I put battles on myself, but it's so hard when, like, you rehearse for, like, a month.
Yeah, that's what.
Solid.
Like, that's why I'd sit down and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna write a track. You know, oh, fuck, I've got. It's like you had an assignment that was due coming up.
I only learnt the cheat code to do it is record your verse and
Yeah.
then listen to it on the way to work.
I
And
didn't have the studio then.
Yeah, word.
I
That's
was-
the only way I was able to do it, was being able to, because I'm like, when I rehearse for a show, I listen to the shit non-stop. I was like, I'm going to do that for the battles. Then I found out every cunt does that. I'm like, well, why don't you fucking tell me?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard as shit. But after the battles, you went on doing music and shit. You're already doing music a little bit, but how'd you meet Torture?
In that first battle.
Yeah? He was
Came
battling
third.
too?
He came third, vice versa came second. I came first.
Vice versa. I ain't heard that name in a while.
Yeah. I remember it was a big thing. Torture didn't care, he was drunk. Couldn't even remember it.
So you and Torture started linking up. How does Obese Records come into play?
Well, first it was Dominion Crew, where we'd all link up. Me, Mass, Torture, Khalil, Bones, Espa.
Yeah.
It was Steyr. It was like 8, 9 of us. JT. Then after that, everyone kind of went, oh, we're not making any money here. Let's go and live normal lives.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Yeah, word.
And then Torture was like, oh, do you want a job? I was like, well, I'm about to move out of home. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And as I was 18, moved out. My mum said, you move out now, you're not coming back. I went, that's cool with me. I never did want to go back. And after that, we'd be in the deli every day, and then I got him back into rhyming. That's how the first track we did was Reformed.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Sneak and Reformed were the first two, and then...
Because all the album artwork was in the deli, that's right. And all the promo shots and
yeah,
everything.
because he couldn't get enough time, because he's managing the place, he couldn't get enough time off work, he reckons.
That's crazy.
To go anywhere else to fucking shoot it, so...
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that. So, in between you did Reform, Sneak, Reform. So, the whole My Crew Reform, that was about your Dominion almost sort of half coming together, and you had Mass back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like for like old times, but really it was the start of a whole new ride.
Because that was the crazy thing. Like when I'm listening to that, it's like, oh, My Crew Reformed. I'm like, oh, I wonder what other Hyjak and Torture albums are out. And I went looking and I couldn't see nothing. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I wrote that chorus for me to do it first.
Yeah.
And then Mass was like, well, let me try it. And then I was like, okay, yep, you win. You got more character.
Well, how is getting Mass out of retirement? Is that ever going to happen?
Well, you gotta ask him.
Yeah.
I don't force people to do shit they don't want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Anymore. I used to try.
Yeah.
But it gets real tiring.
Yeah.
If you get them to do it once, doesn't mean they're going to do it twice or want to do it twice or three times. A lot of people start, I'm not talking about Mass or anyone, but just people in Australia, they see people getting played, doing shows, girls think they get money.
And they want to get into it for that reason.
I can do that too.
Yeah.
And then they drop a video and don't even blow up or make a ripple. And then they go, fuck, this is harder than I thought. I'm going to go back to being a dad.
Yeah.
Or back
to
my
or
law
they
degree.
go the other way and they're just like, well, why is this cunt doing it? Oh, he must be sucking dick or whatever. Like they go on the hate and shit, but it's like, nah, son, this has been going on for years. This didn't just happen. Cunts are putting in work.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you guys did Drastic Measures. It's still one of the more pinnacle albums in Australian hip-hop history. At the time, did you think that sort of shit? Like, everyone was doing sample-based stuff. You guys didn't really have too many sample-based stuff. Was there any, like, backlash from that?
Yeah. Everyone was like... I remember Suffer saying to me, so on your next album, are you going to do, like, more beats with samples so our track doesn't stand out so much? And vice versa was calling me up saying, oh, I heard your new album's real commercial. Esper heard Sneak and he goes, oh, you know you're going to get this for that. I was like, why? This is what we listen to. I didn't want to sound like the rest. Yeah. I wasn't comparing myself to Australia. I was comparing myself to a world standard of what I thought was the best worldwide.
So you were looking bigger picture way before anyone else in that train of thought.
Yeah.
Because
I wasn't even trying to. It's
just second nature.
I just knew what I liked.
Yeah.
I didn't like the same shit that I heard people going on about at every show.
I remember like initially showing like mates, Hilltop Hoods, like mates that weren't sort of in the graph scene or whatever. They listen to hip hop, but I'd show them Hilltop Hoods. They're like, oh, it's good, but it's not, you know, whatever else we're listening to. It's not Dre, it's not Snoop, but like I'd show them Drastic Measures and it was more, it went down a lot easier with the beats and everything. So on that end, like it probably did well for you on that too. Like cunts could relate more to those beats rather than your Hilltop Hoods where it's just like
well,
pretty
the thing
basic
is they
drum
remember
loop.
it.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other albums that came out around then, they didn't remember it.
Yeah.
The album we dropped after that, they didn't remember it because it wasn't so left field.
Yeah.
Risky. It started with Face the Music. That was the first Aussie trap track.
Yeah. That was on Culture Kings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
did you correct me if I'm wrong? Maybe someone else did one, but I've still yet to hear it.
Yeah.
And I remember Bones going like, "Oh, I made this beat." I was like, oh, "Sick," and he's like, "No, you can't write to it. It's different." I'm like, what do you mean it's different? And he played it, and then we were sitting there like, fuck, this beat sounds like fucking stormtroopers walking through. And then I was like, just let me try something. So then I wrote a verse, and no one was doing double time then, so I had to base it on something. I based it on sort of mimicking Bone Thugs and Biggie.
Yeah. Word.
Notorious
Thugs. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it blew up.
Yeah.
Trap did.
That's crazy. So it was like Culture Kings before Drastic Measures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember them hitting us up for a track. DJ Dime, who was doing Culture Kings in Adelaide, was hitting us up for a track, and we were like, well, you got to pay for our recording time.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean no one else is asking? And then we
Yeah.
got that money,
You on
and
that
then we
hustle
flipped
early.
it and did 2 tracks with it.
Yeah, that's the game. That's what a lot of American artists do now. They'll hit up like cunts in America, in Australia or the UK or whatever. Say, right, I'm doing this many. I'm doing features for this price. Use that to fund. They'll just do a quick freestyle. Use that to fund their studio time, and then everything's paid for. What's his name? From The Outsiders. Pace One. Pace One does that shit. He told me about it. I'm like, you a smart motherfucker.
Well, it's desperate too.
Yeah. So, like, after Culture Kings, they hit you up to do a full album? Or you had an EP before then, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I already had that. But I remember drinking a lot of Hennessy that day. It was a Sunday. Just did the show at LC the night before.
Yeah.
And the beef was still heavy between Pegs, Raisin, and LC. And they weren't trying to get us on side, but they were buying us a lot of Hennessy and then saying
LC
"Let's do
was?
a track." Nah, Raisin and Pegs.
Oh, yeah, word.
I was there when LC recorded Demolition Derby, the first one I know of.
That's crazy.
I was staying at Brad Strutt's for like 2 weeks at that time. And Lazy Grey was trying to get in on that recording time and get Strutt to do something for his album or whatever.
Yeah.
And Strutt was like...
Because back then it wasn't so easy to record, was it? Like, you had to go to a proper studio. You couldn't just go down to JB. Like, even JB sells the basic fucking condenser mics now.
Yeah, they were.
They're fucking...
The Rode USB mics are good though.
Yeah.
For what they are, $200.
100%.
I racked that in, buy it. But then I walked out feeling like, oh yeah, I fucking finally stolen something good. And
then it was a USB condenser.
I saw the price tag on it. It was like $290. I was like, fuck. But I knew it was a good mic because
They're decent.
I've been using at Sky's house every time.
Yeah, word.
And I think it was around Christmas this year. I got myself one, and I like them.
Rode. Yeah.
The USB mics just plug into the side of the computer, record
That's
pretty
it.
much anywhere. Even background noise and shit doesn't really get brought up too much.
Mm. So they're buying your Henny and shit. They're pulling you on side? Are they saying, right, we'll give you a record deal and all that type shit? Is that the type of conversation that's happening with Pegs and that?
We done a show for $1,200.
Yeah.
Me, Mass and Torture, and we split.
That's good money for back then, if you think about it. That's
Mass
prior
got
to an album.
$1,200.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck you get that type of money?
Yeah.
And then he just kind of stopped doing shit.
Yeah.
And then I got the Connect, lit it up for us.
Yeah.
Had the pathway to do it. And we did it.
Yeah.
We does it.
So $1,200 for the show, that's prior to album. After the album and you're on Obese and like you're getting on Stealth Mag and all that, price go up a bit or what?
No, it went down.
Really? Was that because Obese was taking a cut or what was it?
No, it's because Obese had a new manager.
Was that Fern or this before
No,
Fern?
before Fern.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Yeah.
And Bones didn't fuck her properly. She'd always be trying to fuck all the rappers, and her and Bones had some sort of thing going.
Yeah.
And then I remember him coming back like, oh, I almost put it in, but she wouldn't let me out. I was like, oh, you dumb
Let me
cunt.
just put the tip in.
Yeah, you dumb cunt just fucked up our record deal. You couldn't even fucking hit it properly. And then after that, the shows weren't coming in. Like, everything changed after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. And you think it's because he didn't fuck her properly? What do you think?
Yeah, I can't think of much else it would be.
There was a story going around that, like, say there'd be a big international act or whatever, Obese would, like, undercut whatever the local sports. They'd say, righto, I've got to act in every city. You don't have to pay for flights or accommodation because they're in the city. Did you ever hear anything like that or get put on any of them shows like that?
Probably a few.
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
Because, like, I remember it was either Strut or someone. This is within the beef. I'm sure they told me this, or someone told me this, where they were put on a whole tour, and then Obese come through and said, nah, I'll give you an act in every state. You don't have to pay accommodation or flights.
Yeah, it's believable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty ruthless back then. What was the touring like back then when you had the first album out?
It went from 0 to 100.
Yeah?
It was all timing. It was all to do with the Hood's affiliation. It was all to do with...
Because the Hoods were on fire at that stage. Like, they just put out the
couldn't do no
calling.
wrong.
And, like, Nosebleed Section, it almost didn't even make the album, and that just went on fire. That was getting mainstream radio play, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, it still took a while for that to happen, though.
Yeah, like, it was later on. But I remember, like, being in Sydney, seeing my old man, and, like, Today FM was playing it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was a trip. Seeing Pegs roll up in his fucking nice sports car.
Yeah.
And then we did the Obese block party where it was like 2,000 people, and then I missed my plane. Next day went to the pub and put like $50 in coins in my hand, go play the pokies. I'm like, I don't know, what am I meant to do? Keep pressing this button.
Because they weren't
Stop
really...
making a noise.
They never thought Australian hip-hop would go that crazy, did they? Like, they weren't really equipped for that type of success to happen.
Well, from what they told me, they knew it was going to happen.
They knew it was going to happen.
I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. So they were telling you this initially when you're doing drastic measures, or?
No, they were just everywhere.
Yeah.
At that time. And then...
Because they're very strategic, putting an act in every state, signing one from every state, and then just making sure they had everyone solidified.
It's just like the drug game, really. Put
Taking
other
over
people
every
on,
city.
make money off them.
Yeah, word. Because I remember, like, even when Spit Syndicate started doing well, like, Obese was covering everything. Like, they were bragging about how, like...
They dropped, like, 150K on them, I think.
150 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting up that sort of money. That might be why they're not around today.
Yeah. Probably.
So what's some of the craziest tour stories from them early days? Was there fucking groupies getting around or what?
Yeah. They were helpful in times of need.
That's a delicate way to put it.
They served their purpose. But then you tend to find out that she also fucking maestro and she also fucking... you know?
So it's almost like that Park song, every city I go I see the same hoe.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Turn into that.
You were instrumental in putting Bliss and Esso onto Obese too, yeah? You introduced them?
Yeah. They won't admit it these days. I
No?
don't know. But,
They basically said...
Esso would call me when he needed to write.
Yeah.
He needed inspiration.
Yeah, word.
And it still happens to this day. Not him personally, but like, yeah, Alex Jones will hit me up like, oh, I've done all to do the rest of this track. All right, give it to me. Do, but when you do that here, la la la. Done.
Yeah, word. So you were saying a bit of ghostwriting before ghostwriting was popular.
Oh, definitely. I ghostwritten for a lot of people you'd never even know.
Yeah, word. Right, anyone you burn a bridge, you can sort of drop a name or not?
Mostly just choruses.
Yeah, word. Was like Drastic Measures had hooks. Like a lot of albums coming out at the time were all like scratch hooks. You guys actually had hooks.
I know, and we had a good DJ too.
Yeah, one of the best in Australia.
He didn't want to fucking scratch.
So you guys help Bliss and SO get on. They get a couple of beats from Suffer, but there was no ever like Hilltop Woods collaborations on that.
I know, and they thought they were mad because of that too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you just in a video clip, like, you guys are buddy and shit.
Oh, they thought they were down like that?
Yeah.
Because there was also a story where, Suffer was sleeping on tour and, like, SO tried to wake him up or something, being a funny cunt?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know how to take SO's sense of humour.
Yeah, word.
Him being one of them, he was asleep on the floor in the hotel.
Because SO's a wild cunt, for real.
He was. And, yeah, they couldn't deal with that shit no more.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
So you reckon that's what started the beef initially?
Well, there's no real beef.
They just didn't fuck with each other no more. It wasn't like they were going at each other, but it was just like they became very separate. Because not long after that, they split from Obese, and then they went and done their thing with Elusive, eh?
Yeah. And I remember them describing the situation to me like, I found these Jewish guys with heaps of money, all comes. Like, cool, let's rob them.
Fucking
Like,
hell.
no, they're
they
going to sign us first and then they'll sign you after.
Yeah, they were promising the world like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, true.
But
Never happened.
my loyalty was with Obese and Pegs because I knew them.
Oh, okay. So they offered it to you and you turned it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, word.
They
Hindsight's a
weren't really
motherfucker.
in a position to offer it.
They were just
Really,
throwing it
they
out
were
there
just
trying to get you
throwing
on
it out
side.
there,
Yeah, word. Because they put you on... Was it that album that had Happy in My Hoodie, or was it the one after that? Might have been the one after that. The second one they dropped on Elusive.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, I'd never fuck with that beat, eh? I'd never liked that beat. But that blew up, that song, eh?
Yeah, it's funny what does and what doesn't.
Like, did your... At the time, like, you weren't really doing too much yourself. Did your stock start going up again? Like, that was around the time then you started working on the second album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm like 4 deep. Still need to be mixed, mastered and shit. That's the expensive part.
Fucking oath it is.
Mm-hmm.
So with that Happy in My Hoodie, did they end up taking you on tour with that shit, or that was as far as the sort of olive branch went?
Yeah, they didn't put money into taking me on tour. They booked me at shows like Melbourne, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Shit that's close enough to get there yourself.
Yeah, word. Well, they because they put you guys on the Day of the Dog tour. We were joking about earlier that Torture would be out the front hustling like Scottish hip hop mixtapes, like on a burnt CD for $10 a pop after the show.
He was alcoholic. He needed it.
That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, this is...
He only had a couple of hours till his wife realised too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like maybe my 4th gig I went to, 18 years old. And I was like, oh yeah, I want some music. He's like, nah, $10. You're 18 years old. You got no fucking money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell people. Like, fuck it. Just put the album out. I have a whole nother album by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't be precious about that shit.
So like when the Bliss and SO thing, the Obese Elusive thing, your loyalty was Obese and Pegs. Was it hard being stuck in the middle though?
At times.
Or was it similar to like how LC and Obese were sort of doing that thing too?
I was stuck in the middle of that one too.
Yeah. So it was a similar
they weren't
situation.
sending messages through me or anything, but they'd get dirty. Like LC would get dirty if I was hanging with Pegs and they found out. Like,
Yeah, word. Even though you signed to his
dirty.
label.
Yeah, not real dirty, but
Yeah.
like they just short change small things, you know?
Yeah, word. So you guys was Unregrettable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, what happened to Bones at that stage? Like he was gone. Like, cause Hyjak and Torture was always with Bones, even on the album cover. And what was the other dude's name? The new DJ that come in? Was it Mers?
Nah, he an MC from LA.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, what was the DJ's name on the second one? I can't even remember. You can't remember. I can't remember.
Ism.
Nah, Ism wasn't on that one. No, it was I can't remember. But you guys do that, you go on tour again, like it didn't hit the same. You're saying because of the samples.
Nah, I'm saying because they started caring about the samples.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, we're moving this amount of units, we got to make sure we get this back.
So at that stage, they're clearing samples?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from what I know.
Yeah. Because I heard a rumour that the calling nosebleed section, they had an issue with that sample that almost sent them broke. Is that real or?
They were friends with the woman they sampled for that.
Oh, okay, word. 'Cause I've heard two different stories that, she liked the track, and I've even seen photos with Suffer with her. Then I heard someone say that they almost went broke because of a sample. Obese did. So, very conflicting stories. Some regrettable, you're doing samples and everything like that. You go on tour. Was it the same like the original album coming out? 'Cause
No.
it was a few years later, eh?
Yeah, we'd missed the train by that stage.
You missed the boat?
Yeah, because once Drastic Measures came out, I just wanted to sit around and talk to different bitches and get high every day.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Money starts trickling out.
Yep. So then...
Especially that time when Drastic Measures come out. Like, that's, for me, I think it's like the pinnacle of when hip-hop in Australia was sort of fucking the Calling, Axis, all that sort of thing around that time. That's when, like, cunts were really fucking with it. So the bitches would have been everywhere, I can imagine.
Yeah. They came as fast as they left.
Yeah.
I've seen it all before.
Yeah, like... So, unregrettable. The tours weren't the same. You reckon you missed the boat. Samples, different style of album. Were the numbers you guys were posting similar or not really?
No, well, we had the Hoods affiliations that blew up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because the Hoods weren't involved with the second one, were they?
they even told us to move to Adelaide.
They told, yeah?
Yeah.
Word. So around that sort of time, like not long after, Hoods do their last album, The Calling, on their... not The Calling, fucking... What was it? The Hard Road. That's the last Obese album, and they do their own thing. Did they try and pull you into GE at the time when they're doing that? Because it seemed like they were gathering like the best artists from Obese and like pulling them aside.
Yeah, no, they didn't holler at us.
No?
But they didn't holler at a lot of people.
It seemed like it was an Adelaide affiliation only, Funkors, Vents. But I thought you guys would probably be one of the next crews to be on there, even though you weren't from Adelaide. Like, it always seemed that connection was there.
Yeah, well, I always hoped that they would come back and get us.
Yeah.
Because, they had it good where they were at.
Was it a case of they blew up and they just changed their number sort of thing? Or was it just like they were busy doing their own thing and could only keep certain amounts going?
It was home base.
Yeah.
Home bake, sorry. And it was backstage. We all had pills. Bones didn't know how to handle his one. Just made a clown of himself in Onion Man's place. Like 10 years later.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it was like...
So Bones burned the bridge, you reckon, that day?
Well, Bones' first request was for Torture to buy him a Triton keyboard. So Torture went got a home loan. I think about 10 G's. Put about 5 into recording, 2 into mixing, and then Bones pocketed the rest.
Yeah, word. So he didn't even do nothing with the keyboard. Like, he didn't buy the keyboard, he just kept the money.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
That's fucked up. Do you still talk to all the guys from the Obese era, or like not as much?
See, I always look at it like you got industry friends and real friends.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's very few that I still talk to as real friends.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them in the street and shit. Yeah, what's up? How you going? What you been doing? Blah, blah, blah. No one really cares.
Slap hands, keep it moving sort of
thing. No one
thing.
cares what each other's doing. They were just worried about themselves. So I got sick of those fake conversations.
Yeah, word.
Mm.
The Hoods had you on The Calling.
Mm-hmm.
Bliss and Esso had you on That Happy in My Hoodie, and was there another one as well? On one of their albums? I don't know. But Are you getting royalties from that shit? Because the Calling sold fucking stupid units. Bliss and
Yeah.
Esso at the time was at their height.
You think I'd get a bit more. But
Was that just
that's
on some
APRA.
friend shit? Or that was like...
Yeah, I didn't charge him for that.
No, but you don't get royalties from that shit?
Not that I know of. I mean, money does pop in every now and then, but that could be Bandcamp as well.
That could be from like APRA sort of thing.
Awesome.
Because that you would think like APRA would be on top of that. I mean, you got to register this, or they've got to register the song saying that you're featured on it. But it seems like them shits were pretty big songs. Well, more so the Bliss and Esso one because that was a single.
I'd say the Hoods one was much bigger.
Yeah. I suppose like the Calling was a bigger album.
I remember Suffer playing us let me introduce myself one, and he's like, yeah, we've been going hard. We think we're going to do something with this time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we got another deleted rapper.
Little did we know that years later, them cunts are doing
Months.
like crazy shit. They sold out Newcastle Entertainment Centre. The only other rappers that I've known that have sold that shit out have been like international, like ridiculous big artists. Like even Exhibit wouldn't be able to sell that type of shit in his heyday. Like it was only like top end pop stars that are selling that shit out. But
Yeah.
they were also a little bit smarter. Like initially, they were looking to Europe and internationally, even from an early stage, weren't they? Because they had that shit with Buku, and then they had they were doing tours of Europe where they're making no money, but they were getting the name out there. Did you guys ever sort of go out and do that type of shit too?
I was in a reggae band.
Yeah, word.
We toured New Zealand. Bud Spells, we were touring with Salmonella Dub, Fat Freddy's Drop,
Yeah, Fat Freddy's drops dope.
and then they blew up.
Yeah, word. What, Fat Freddy's Drop or your reggae band?
Fat Freddy's Drop.
Yeah. Because
Not that I
Torture...
was planning on seeing any of that money anyway.
Yeah. Torture ended up going and doing the band route too. What did he say? Like, this metal hip-hop shit's going to be the next thing? What was that? Broken Silence or something?
Yeah, I was never a fan of the rock rap shit.
Nah. I think it works sometimes, but you got to be... It's got to be on top of its level on both.
Yeah, like they did it kind of well, but it was a bit
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit-y for me.
Yeah. Whereas
And
that...
It was convenient for Torture because it was just around the corner from his house,
where the band practice and that.
where Myth's house was.
Yeah, word.
So they kind of get brought into the whole spectrum like that. Like Bliss and Esso, I remember, well, we Torture, and they're like, oh, we're going to do a track, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Hit me up, and then I said, what do you want to do this track? And Torture's like, nah, not really.
Yeah. Was that the Happy With My Hoodie shit?
Yeah.
So he didn't want to jump on it?
Oh, no, he didn't get an offer to jump on that,
word.
but other songs.
Yeah, word. Because he never really does many features, does he? Like, the only feature I can really think of is obviously on Axis. He wasn't on The Calling like you were. He wasn't on none of the Bliss and Esso shit. And I think he's got a track with NJE. That's about the only features I can think of. There's probably more. But he doesn't really do features much, does he?
Who are we talking about right now?
Torture.
Nah, because he,
Is that like a control freak sort of thing? Or he just doesn't really fuck with people like that?
he's not one of those rappers.
Yeah. He's not in it just to be rapper sort of thing. He just wants to do his own thing.
Nah, what's the word? It's convenience.
Yeah, right.
He just needed a place to go and get pissed and get away from his missus.
Yeah, right. So sometimes the studio was that.
It was
Sometimes
a
it
good
wasn't.
excuse to go and do exactly that.
Yeah, word. What's the chance of a third Hyjak and Torture album?
We've been talking about it, but
Yeah?
he hasn't come to meet me halfway yet. So
Yeah, word. Would you reunite with Bones or you'd get like
yeah,
separate
well, we're
producers?
talking about doing drastic measures too. And
Fuck
then
yeah.
Bones and Torture still hated each other.
Yeah. And you gotta try and bridge the gap
I
somehow.
tried to bridge the gap. Neither of them were having it.
Maybe you just need to pull out some good piff.
Yeah,
That sometimes gets Bones on side.
Bones just couldn't handle drugs. He would.
First night I properly hung out with Bones, he invited us around for like mountains of coke, eh? He just had it. He was doing Groove in the Mood
where the
with...
fuck? See, that was probably drastic measures money you was not.
That
Where
was
the fuck did Bones get money to buy coke?
Well, you remember he was DJing with Muffin Plutonic, right? Muffin Plutonic were killing it. He did Groove in the Mood with them. And then, like, randomly, I'm chilling with Deceiver and Skeptic and Deceiver at some gig in Petersham, and he just rocks up.
That would have been Skeppers that pulled that out.
No, because Skeppers had already left, and Bones was inviting me to his joint. And I gave him a
Bones
beer.
probably stole it from Skeppers.
Probably. Fucking,
Because I know all these individuals very well. And
word.
I know Bones doesn't pull out bags of coke like that because he's broke as fuck. Couldn't even afford to buy toilet paper.
Well, he
had to use a sock one time.
He drove back from fucking Groove in the Mood with Muffin Plutonic, pissed as, and just rocked up in Petersham. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be doing Groove in the Mood and shit? He's like, yeah, fuck them cunts. And he was off his face, and he was just like, I'm mentioning cunts, and he's like, fuck that cunt, fuck that cunt.
Yeah, that's how he was. Like, it got to be unbearable after a while.
He was bagging every single cunt that he DJ'd for, did shit for, and it was just like, man.
And these are the people that made his career what it was.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't
and
know.
we'd go over to his house, bring him food from the deli, bring him weed, and he'd be like, "Nah, man, I'm not making a beat today. I'm too tired." I'm like, we just did a 12-hour shift. What the fuck are you tired from? I had to walk to the bank today. I remember he said that. Roger was like, "Nah, what a fucking dickhead." And then quite often the beats for Drastic Measures were made by me getting frustrated and going, well, fuck you then, I'm making a beat. And I'd start hitting drum things, and then I'd find a pattern, and then both like, oh, wait, move. And then replay what I did. It. And that would be like reformed, fucking.
So
a lot of songs
you started the beats, and he'd polish them sort of thing once he's seen you trying to get the light sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Not for every beat, but for quite a few tracks.
When he was being a lazy cunt.
Yeah, it's like he needed the sort of initial spark inspiration shit.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon's changed about the scene from that era there to now? Do you think it's like the digital market's taken over, or like it seems like the whole sound is going towards more like a folk songy type shit, and
money.
Units
it's all
aren't
about
really,
money.
Yeah. Whereas back then it was more just to rap.
We were doing that melody in the voice, rapping shit back before anyone was doing it.
Yeah.
It was 3 people: Suffer,
Yeah.
Mass,
Yeah.
and then I started doing it because I seen them do it.
Yeah. But Suffer always, even now, like he does it specifically more now. Like every verse is almost singing.
Yeah.
But he's always had them sort of patterns.
Yeah. And then Mass was good with the choruses doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 50 was doing it. M was doing it.
Yeah. So you influenced more so from the US side than anything out here.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the first Australian hip hop that you ever heard? Was it Death Wish?
Nah. Coolism was the first ones to actually get me rapping how I talked.
Yeah.
Because I had real trouble.
Were you doing an American accent?
Yeah. But and I made it sound good too.
Yeah.
But everyone would be like, oh, that sounded dope, but it's taboo.
Yeah.
You did it wrong. Well, what do you mean I did it wrong?
You're doing it wrong.
And then I remember my mate going, like, can you imagine this guy talking in a fucking occa? Yeah, mate, how you fucking gonna rap it? Like I didn't talk like that.
See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people put that perception of it as like, well, I don't talk like an Occo Aussie. And it's like, well, you don't have to. Rap like how you'd speak. And most of the time, that's where it sounds the best.
And that's
Also,
that was the first conversation I had with Suffer in the club.
Yeah, word.
In Adelaide, Culture Kings after party. Where he came up and said, do you want to do a track for Suffering City?
Yeah, fuck, I forgot about that shit. I got that somewhere.
I was eating weed in the club. I was so bored. I had so much weed given to me.
You just fucking eating
I
the
was
cunt.
walking up to chicks going, if anyone offers you weed, just make sure you don't eat it. And they'd get like a 50 and just start chewing it. And they'd look real confused. And then I remember Suffer coming from across the room and going, hey man, do you want to do a track for Suffering City? And I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. I knew it was just some underground sort of compilation.
Yeah,
shit
because
he was
even when they
doing.
blew up, no one really knew about Suffering City.
Yeah, but it was all timing because he then I didn't make it on that because it didn't happen in time. He said, well, we'll put you on the Hoods album instead. And I was like, oh, fuck, even better.
It worked out
And
heaps
then
better.
Stealth was meant to do an interview on me, and they didn't do it in time. They said, well, to make it up to, we'll put you on the cover then. Oh,
Yeah,
even
that was
better.
pretty crazy.
It was all angles of time, just boom, 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 just all
fell into
happened at
place.
once. Yep.
That was like that was with the fake cheeseburger, eh? On the front cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Bliss did the original cover for that.
Yeah?
He took the photos.
Yeah,
and
word.
he didn't do it properly. So then we had to hire a professional photography guy, and he was this weirdo dude.
Because I remember them photos where all the press shots, the one with the burger and shit, that was the one for the album and shit too, like the album launches, I think.
Yeah, but not for our
flyers.
album. That was
Oh, that was just to have
Bliss,
shit.
Bliss had failed at the
word.
at the photos. I can't remember why, but no one, well, someone didn't like him. I think maybe Mark Pollard himself or something.
Yeah, word.
Like, we got to do it again, so we went and did it again. This time, just got some professional dude, and I just seen that fake burger sitting there on the table, and I was like, "Fuck, this is boring. I need something to add to it." No, that was that. Yeah.
Was that your first photo shoot?
Probably the first real one with a real photographer.
Being a bloke, it's kind of awkward, like just standing there doing photo shoots and that.
I never liked it.
My first photo shoot, was lucky, like the photographer was a mate, but even then it still felt fucking awkward, eh?
I still don't like doing it.
Nah, neither. But at the same time, you need the press shots to look professional and do all that shit. But
Another thing is everybody had the same pose. Going.
yeah,
They all
everyone
look
wants to
like
be staunch or a b-boy.
my American friend always used to say, "But what's up with that?" I'd be like, "What?" And he'd be pointing to like Hilltop Hood's pictures in a magazine. He goes, "They all look like their dog ran away. They're sad. They all look mad, like their dog ran away."
From an era where rappers didn't smile.
Yeah. And like to this day, not much has changed really.
Yeah, 100%. Meme mugs and shit. I feel weird when I'm smiling on film.
Well, I actually go out of my way to do it now.
To smile for
If
a
you
promo.
if you see, there's a photo with me, Forte, Michos, all that at the Corey show
Yeah.
with the crowd behind us, everybody looking hard, and I'm just going like opposite of what everyone I knew was the opposite.
Everyone would be staunch
And
and
I'm
all
just like-
smiling and shit.
Yeah.
dope.
I can show you that shit on the internet now.
I think I might have seen it on Facey, eh?
Yeah.
Alright, so Obese is defunct. They were doing like, they were putting out people like distro. They stopped doing shit like signing people. They were doing shit with Cursor and that. And then
Nah,
now
he was
that's
just distro deal.
he what? Yeah,
he
no,
was-
he was managed too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Fern was managing him. He wasn't a real record deal.
No, he was still.
But
yeah.
still, they were taking a huge cut for what sort of deal it was.
Yeah, were. So you reckon that's why he ended up doing his own thing with
Yeah.
MGM? Was it MGM?
Yeah,
Or Warner,
100%.
something like that.
100%.
I mean, nothing was going at Obese until Cursor sort of rocked up. But
Well, it was a distribution deal
mm,
where he wasn't getting all the benefit. They were taking the percentages of an album deal, of a record deal.
instead of a distro.
Yeah,
deal.
exactly. So he's
And they were managing him because initially they weren't. It was that Ben O'Mealy dude who put them reverb tours on. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, he was a
They were
god.
fucking. They were different.
And then Forte was managing him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the process of changing over from Ben O'Mealy to Forte to Fern, I was put on the Sydney launch of one of his albums. He's got so many now.
Nebulizer. I was on
No,
that.
it wasn't that one. It was the one after.
okay.
Oh, yeah, it was the second one.
Mm.
And then, like, Ben had put me on, and then I rang up Ben to find out what's going on. He said, bro, I've had enough. I've had people rock up to my house, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm over it. I'm out. So now Forte's managing him. So I hit up Forts, and I was like, what's the deal? And then, like, he was like, by the time I got to Forts, it was moved on to Fern, and Obese was doing it. I'm like, Obese? They ain't done shit in ages. Like, but that was their, like, third coming almost, wasn't it?
I think she might still manage him to
Yeah,
this
she
day.
does. She definitely does. Once Obese was done,
Yeah.
she started managing
That's all
him.
she does now.
Yeah,
And dielectrics.
And dielectrics. Yeah,
No,
word.
well, that's his missus.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Crazy. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what he does instead of rapping now.
He lives with Scotty Hines now in Melbourne.
In Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool, phone. She's cool. He cool too.
I've had good dealings with her, then I've had bad dealings with her. Like,
yeah, she's always been pretty straight up with us.
yeah. Like I was I've done shows with her where she was organising it. Then I've had other things where, like, say the Ben O'Mealy thing, I was already put on the gig, and then I'm like talking to her and she's like, oh, if you let us know earlier, we would have made sure that still happened, but now it can't happen and all this. I was like, yeah,
That
whatever.
was probably his fuck up.
It was his fuck up more than hers.
Yeah.
And then, like, this last album coming out, and we're doing the podcast and shit. We're like, oh, let's get Curse on. Like, I know Curse pretty well. I don't have his number anymore. And then fucking, and we hit up. We thought, oh, we'll do the proper thing. We'll go through the manager. And she goes, not at this time. I was like, oh, righto. I was like, did you approach him at least, like, and say who it was?
Yeah,
Man.
I think they're probably at a stage where even if I did it, it'd be the same sort of response, because they're probably trying to find some untapped artists and specifically put them in that position. I don't know.
Well. Do you prefer being independent now to the label shit? Do you prefer being in control and all that?
Yes and no, because it's kind of shit that there's. I put out. All I do is make songs. So it'd be good to have someone doing all that other shit. Yeah. But at the same time, when you're independent, it's all on you. How much you get out there, how much. It's all at your fingertips. The internet's free. You can do it. If you're not doing it, you're just lazy. But then sometimes you don't feel like putting yourself out there. Sometimes you don't feel like talking to anybody. And you got people like 360 that'll write something every 5 minutes about themselves. Yeah.
So, do little webcam raps and they get 1 million views or something.
Yes. I'm more of a recluse than that.
Same, man.
But sometimes I'm in the mood to do it and I want to do like 10 in half an hour. It depends on the mood that I'm in. Quite often lately I'll find myself in situations where I want to film what's going on, but I can't because of certain activities, or
you don't want to incriminate yourself.
Or this bitch is there and she shouldn't be. Drama that will come after.
So the thing nowadays, like I say to a lot of people, there was a young act in Sydney, they were telling me they were signed to an indie label that, I feel like, to be honest, they could have done it themselves, but they were smart. They were telling me, I won't mention names because I don't want either party to feel dissed or whatever, but...
Fuck it, say names, what are they going to do? Who gives a fuck? Fuck your feelings.
Oh, they're both mates, so I don't want to be, like, I'm dissing in a sense. Anyway, I said to him, I was like, nowadays with the internet, bro, you really don't need a label. Like, you can do it yourself. You can put your shit on iTunes. You can do all this. You've already got your fan base.
Not every rapper's good at that, though.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
not good at it.
Well, these cunts are already buzzing, sort of thing. Like, especially in where they are. But the label that was putting them on, I felt like they weren't going to do any more for them than what they already have. I said, milk it for whatever you can, but please don't sign a multiple release deal. Make it a one release deal. Get what you need out of it.
No one's really doing shit like that anyway. At the moment. No one's putting money behind it. No one's doing like 5 album deals.
This label, I can't imagine having any money to do anything anyway.
No one's like, you're an idiot if you sign a 5 album deal these days. Yeah. No one's doing that.
Do shit. One release and get what you need, and then do it your own. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't realise that just having a dope album isn't enough. Like, people think, alright, I've got a dope album, I'll put it out.
A million people got dope albums.
That's it.
Go to America, every second person's a dope rapper.
Yeah.
And they've all got an album. Don't mean shit.
That's it. It's, being able to distribute it properly throughout all sources. It's getting those media looks. It's, even being written up by a blog.
It's a business.
There's so much... The music nowadays is probably only about 40% of the work you need to do, if not less. Because it's so attainable to just get a mic or whatever, go to your local JB and rack a Rode USB. you know, kids have got fucking... I didn't have my own setup, and when I did, I spent like 500, 600, something like that. I didn't have that till like a few years ago, so the recording was always inconsistent because I was going to this other studio and you had to put money towards it, or I was doing stuff with the youth center. I was able to use that, but you got kids that they get recording equipment for, you know, Christmas, and they're making music videos straight away. They haven't even learned how to rap yet.
But what that does is
Floods the market.
cheapens it too.
It does. It's watered down completely.
Because it's harder for people to find the real shit.
You gotta, and people aren't
Gotta really
willing to
look.
look for it.
People can be bothered. They want it shown. This like 94. All you had to do was pick up the source and look what's in higher rotation, and they were all dope albums. Every
That's
single
it.
one were dope, and that's what you wanted to get.
If it had the
Nowadays,
5 mics,
you wouldn't even get the source for free.
Nah.
3D Magazine was Australia's source. Or Stealth, you know? They'll tell
Stealth,
you what
yeah.
was dope.
Well, Stealth, when they started doing
And
the
they're on point.
mixtapes, that was the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, they were on point with it. But now there's so much shit out there.
One of my favourite ones from Stealth, it had Funkor's Done an R on it. It had Tommy Hilfiger, which is Larry Loopjacker. It had Overproof. And then it had Maestro doing the Mice Down Under or Diggy Down Under.
Yeah.
Some fucking classic shit there. Like, I'd always heard of Funkor's, but it was only shit featured on the hood shit. And then when I heard that track, I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah, like the Funkles proved a lot of people wrong. Everyone thought that they were just the Hilltop Hoods little buddies that
Yeah.
they got lucky because they were their buddies, but
They were a completely
they
different
stood
lane.
they stood on their own and they stayed consistent with what they did,
Mm.
and they didn't compromise. They didn't change, and now they're killing it.
And
They're doing an album
especially-
premiere now, I think.
Yeah, they got a track with Primo.
I thought they were doing an album. Yeah, could be.
Nah, I think it's just one track. I mean, an album would cost
And they're their own
ridiculous.
personalities too. They're not
Yeah.
like the Hoods. So
They're
good on 'em.
completely different. Like, they're more that comical, like, type route.
Yeah.
Like, man, that Primo joint must have cost a pretty penny. I mean, that's where being the Hoods is made.
Yeah, it would, but I mean, Primo, what big hits has he had lately? Like, I know classic this that, but
still
he's
got-
not Michael Made It. That's what's hot right now.
Mm.
If you look at business sense, money wise,
Yeah, but he's still Primo. Like,
he's still Primo.
I went to a Primo show last year, and he played nothing but his joints, and he had shit with Christina Aguilera, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
Then he had
He's
MOP.
got- yeah, he's
like,
got-
he's
he's
got the
got-
hood
he's got a lot of
classics.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
it
But,
would be interesting. Okay, Trials, if you're there, let us know how much did that cost.
Yeah, word.
I
I'm gonna hit him
remember-
up next time I see him.
I hit up Primo in the club one time.
I hit him up too. I flat out told him, I said, the next time we meet, we're going to be working together. He said, oh, word? And I said, yeah. Then I handed him a record.
I can't remember what I said to him, but it was something a little more smart ass.
Yeah, give us a beat, cunt.
I think he probably laughed.
I gave him a record.
I think I tried to swap drugs for a beat. I tried that with P Money too, and P Money got real offended.
Yeah, word.
He's like,
You should have done that with
you don't know
Scribe.
me, do you?
You should have done that to Scribe. He would have given you a P Money beat for some drugs.
Oh yeah, he would have smoked it a lot right there.
Fucking, yeah, well, that'll wrap it up, bro.
Alright.
Fucking, we've covered everything. Oh, no, what have you got coming up soon? You're working on another album, aren't you?
I got a mixtape, which I'm pretty much wrapping up.
Yep,
I got an album, which I'm just picking the demos for.
yep.
And then I've got a whole double album sitting there from like a
double
year
album.
ago,
Crazy.
which I'm just working out what I'm going to do with getting it mixed, getting the stems, all the other annoying tedious shit. Or maybe I'll just put it out as it is, because I kind of like the way it is as the demos.
Yeah,
But I got to talk to engineers and shit, other people involved.
yeah, word. Is there any features we should be looking out for? Any producers that you're working with? Is
Man,
it still realism? Or?
no one really raps with me.
No,
I don't want to.
they don't want to.
No, I don't want to. I don't know.
Or is that more of you being the recluse? Or a bit of both?
I'm friends with pretty much every rapper, but
yeah.
there's,
Do you think it's intimidation?
I don't know what I was having this conversation with Sky the other night.
Yeah.
maybe I'm an asshole. That's what her auntie says. I'm an asshole.
I get called I'm a cunt all the time. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that shit.
Everyone will say what up to me, but they don't want to rap with me.
I think what it comes down to is probably, and you come from that era too, where you're fucking honest. The cunts can't handle honesty.
A lot of people don't like that.
No, people don't like being told to their face. So this new album, is this going to be called Elevator Music?
Well, that's an idea I had today, so that might be the next. The mixtape was gonna be called Self Sufficient.
Yeah.
The album was gonna be called. Fuck, I can't remember the name.
And this is all just going to be independently released again?
This producer, Ollie, that I've been working with, he's got some next level beats. He hasn't worked with any Aussie artists, only American ones.
So you found some untapped talent?
Yeah, I found an untapped talent. He's got, in my opinion, the best beats in Australia.
Yeah, word.
And he's all mine for at least for this album. Then he can go to tracks and slut himself around to whoever. I don't give a fuck.
As soon as you put that release out with the new producer, everyone's in the DMs going, "Oh, I need that shit that fucking Jack."
I've already had a lot of people hit me up, and I almost, it's just never gone through. And then I went, you know what? I'm just gonna hold back till the album drops.
Wait till the album drops, and then tell him and say he charges this much, and put 10% or 20% off for yourself.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't charge that much.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell anyone that.
I'm going to have to get that name off there.
Yeah, once the album's out.
I'll give you one of my American producers that doesn't charge that much.
Once
that
the album's
does shit
out.
with AOTP.
Once the album's out. I can't break it for anyone.
Alright, that's going to be it for Mondayitus on a Saturday. Probably release on Monday though, so it still
feel like
sticks
it's
with
fucking
it.
Monday though.
It does, man. I feel like I should be at work, but fuck it.
Well, my week's like a weekend, so.
Yeah. Working on music and shit. That's probably how you got fucking a mixtape and 4 albums you just said coming out.
It took me, I woke up one morning, 3 a.m. It took me an hour to sort it through, and I went, fuck, there's 4 albums here. And I had a headache by the end of it. But the missing pieces, like, you know, the songs were there, but they're not mixed, they're not mastered, they're not.
Yeah, that's the hard
and
part.
Now,
that's where the money comes into it.
My engineer, Esper's blown up.
Yeah,
so everyone's working with him, so now I got to join this fucking queue.
That's
and I'm even trying to throw him money. He's like, oh, I can't take money from him. I'm like, well, whatever's going to put me ahead of the fucking queue. Put me at the head of the queue,
can't we, crew?
Yeah. I had
because he was even at,
last week with him.
He was even at the Rates show, and Rates was like hitting him up. What do you think the live sounds like? He was just there for that. Like, I know Esper did the mixing of the album.
He's been doing it 30 years.
30?
Something like that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, since like 90, 91 or something.
Fuck. Yeah, I suppose 90 years, almost 30 years, isn't it? Fuck, we're all getting old, aren't we?
And I'm not going to take props for that, but he didn't have much work before the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it was.
He was almost had to, I remember he was going to close his studio because he couldn't afford to pay the rent.
Yeah, I know My Boys Collective
so it's
Crew.
good to see someone blew up.
My Boys Collective Crew did their album through him, and that was meant to be distroed through Obese. And then they had this guy that had come from like more dance music background pop in for a minute, and then he just pulled the plug. Pegs gave him the okay. They got all the artwork done with Obese distribution on it. And then he just come out of nowhere and like he wasn't even there for that long. He was a flash in the pan. I don't know if you know the guy I'm talking about.
No.
But this is probably like 2009.
What was he doing, this guy?
Huh?
What did he do?
He was brought in to try and take it to more the mainstream level. He came from like a dance music background, I think, or more.
Yeah, I don't really remember him, but I remember I hated him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that fucking Jewish dude, Ben. Oh,
yeah, that was it.
He hated us. I used to pay the shit out of him.
That's
when we stopped getting Obese. That's when we stopped getting love from Obese because of him.
Well, if you notice, like all the raw, like hip hop dudes that were on Obese, they stopped really doing anything, and it was more like your Spit Syndicate, Scripture, Illy, like all this.
I remember exactly who, when, why, and how that turned out.
Well, the boys like Collective Crew, they had all this like planned out, and it was distributed by Obese.
Actually, if I see him in the street, I owe him a punch in the head. Fuck you, Ben.
Ben, Your days are numbered, son.
You ruined Aussie hip hop single-handedly.
Yo, if
Your
we think
dance
about,
music ass. I mean, it's a
if
big.
we think about it, that's
it's a
probably
big call,
that's a
but
real thing.
It's pretty fucking real.
Yeah. Because, like, the Collective Crew Boys, their album, I've got it here. Like, it's still, I'm pretty sure it still has Obese written on the back. Pegs goes, yep, okay. Then the Block Party started touring nationally. And we're hanging out with Pegs. He said, yeah, I can't wait for you boys to come out. And he was even, like, saying, yeah, that AUS style track was dope. And then all of a sudden, that Ben dude, like, rang up. And he's just like, nah, it's not happening no more. We're not going that way. We're not distroing everyone or whatever. And that was it. That was their whole plan. And then they were just like, fuck, we got all these albums here.
Oh, and they couldn't send them back because they had the.
Yeah, they, it already had.
Oh, I know.
distribute-
I know you're talking about. Mind Over Matter.
No.
That happened with them too.
Oh, did it? Word.
Yeah.
Well, that's that same sort of era.
Yeah.
Was that after Nurture?
That was when they were with Nurture.
Oh, word.
And then they got some false go ahead and all they changed them or some shit and they had all these albums with the logo on them and they couldn't put them out.
Yeah, word.
Already paid for.
Yeah, that shit happened with my boys' Collective Crew.
I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd still put it out.
Oh, they were still selling them at shows and that, but like you couldn't have them distributed by someone else, and it said distributed by Obese on the back, could you?
Yeah, no.
They weren't really fucking with it. So and they did everything that Obese was doing at the time as well. They got April to do the artwork. They did, I think it was mixed.
You can follow the formula, but you're not gonna make the same cake.
That's it. They had crossover singles on there too. Like they had the hood shit. They had a track called "We Popped Those Things" with like a sample. We're going, yeah, we popped those things, and it was about taking pills and shit. But then they also had like crossover acoustic tracks. So the album was dope. It was just this kind of just randomly said, nah, we're not doing it. We're not going ahead with it.
But he's the Obama. He's a puppet. There's people behind the scenes
100%.
pulling strings there too.
Yeah,
Pegs could have been in a bad mood that day.
so fuck them Central Coast cunts.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, we out for real.
Peace.
Cheers for coming through, bro. First official interview. We had Rorks ring up a couple times mid podcast. We
Can
put
only
him
be
on
downhill
loudspeaker.
from here.
That's it. Bro,
You
no
got
one
in
was-
next week, the tongue. He left Elephant Tracks.
Yeah, he did. Do you know anything about that? Was that money or what? Or was that because Grievous is going to bash him?
I haven't spoke. Who's going to bash him?
Grievous. You know Mr. Grievous from
really?
Perth?
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Something about it. They were going to blue. And on Mr. Grievous's new album cover, he's got it's like him as Donkey Kong throwing barrels and shit. And you see Mario, and randomly there's a cunt that looks like the tongue getting thrown off a building.
I think he went to pursue his career as a substitute teacher.
Yeah, he is.
I was joking. Is he?
No, he is a teacher, isn't he?
Oh, okay. I was joking.
No, I'm sure he was doing teaching through uni.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. It's good. He got a job.
Yeah, I mean, it pays more than rap. Let's be fucking honest, especially in this climate. I mean, his last album really didn't do nothing though, did it?
Nah.
I think he kind of just threw that out to get out of his deal.
I mean, I'm cool with him when I see him. I've got no beef with him. But
Yeah, neither.
as a rapper,
You don't feel it?
it's not that I don't feel it. It's just every rapper sounds the same to me here,
100%.
and that's what I've always tried to not do.
I feel like his original stuff was cool, but then the more the whole sound of hip hop in the country started changing, they're all going to that one sound which they call the Triple J sound.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's when it kind of lost me. Like
Yeah.
his debut EP, whatever it was called, Bad Education or whatever, and he's like, I'm gonna aim a rocket launcher. I've got a rocket launcher and I'll aim it at Channel V. I was like, yeah, fucking fuck that shit.
Yeah, but would he really?
No. Later on, he was on Channel V. He was on all that shit.
He wouldn't name a slingshot at a fucking magpie. Let's be real now.
Yeah. All these rappers out in
I
Australia.
don't want to
talking
hear
guns.
imagination raps about unicorns and shit.
Unless you're on acid.
I want to hear about what you're really doing. Go talk about fucking playing video games and masturbating on Saturday night, because that's what you motherfuckers are really doing.
For real.
And if you can make that sound interesting, then
If you can put that to a hard beat, you never know. You might blow up.
That's skill.
If you blow up with a song about masturbating on a Saturday night in between playing video games,
Don't. I've heard rappers make songs like that. Yeah.
bro, if that shit blows up,
They
I'm
didn't
just gonna
make it
take my
sound
hats off to
interesting.
'em.
They didn't make it sound more interesting than it is.
Yeah. Well, that Grievous, I think the beef was, I think Tongue just didn't really feel Grievous, and Grievous blew
he's
up.
always got an opinion. And
That's it.
He's usually not too shy. He's been a lot quieter lately, but he always
Tongue,
he always voices his opinion. So it's eventually.
He was in the battle shit too, and him and
eventually
Fraze got into
someone
a punch on in that.
Yeah, Fraze punched him in some
Yeah, I think they're cool now, but
radio station or some shit. But it's nothing as dramatic and as exciting as everyone wants it. It's just the fucking.
Nah, because Fraze was only a little guy. Let's be real.
Yeah, he threw a punch. Big deal. Fuck it.
I remember. Do you remember like?
Shit happens in the playground every day.
Do you remember like fucking Fraser's first album? He come out with the do-rag on and he had dog tags and Timbs and all this shit.
Yeah,
and then like someone told me that once he went on tour that first time, his card got pulled. And then he was like, "Fuck that! I'm not from the streets. I'm not doing anything." Then the next one, he's rapping about spaceships.
Put it this way: when he went on tour with Mobb Deep, he called up us out of nowhere. He never called us, had our number or anything.
Yeah.
Reached out for Torch's number, called us and said, "Do you want to come to Mobb Deep?" I'm like, "Okay, why does he want us to come?" So bring your crew. So we roll through and then it clicked.
They want to back up.
Yeah.
What, that was scared? He was scared of Mobb Deep?
Nah, I think just being like
He
so
just
crowd
wanted that
situations, social crowd situations, like it can be intimidating to a person if your spotlight's on you and you've got a bit of anxiety, you're not too sure of yourself.
Yeah.
Anyone in the crowd can test you at any given moment, and if you're in a city where you haven't got crew to hold you down, then it's easy to rent a crew if you can get people in shows for free. And we had nothing better to do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not turning down a free
And we
Mobb
rolled
Deep
through
show.
with fucking dudes with, all sorts of weapons that they just happen to have every day anyway. So it's a good move.
Oh, we all got boys that have always got something dacked.
It's a good move.
All right, that was the first official podcast for Mondayitus, going off topic, 2017. We're going to be doing a lot more interview-based type stuff. We've got some younger dudes. We got some dudes that are doing shit right now. We got some legends to break down everything and show you around the scene. So when myself or Dowell can't be present, like tonight, Dowell couldn't really come through. We're going to put through some interviews. So you best check for them. But we are definitely back full in effect. And it's only going to get bigger from here. Peace.